What you are looking at here is a screenshot of the final boss from possibly the single worst game I have ever played in my entire life. This game is called Zoonomaly. It was made by Lights Are Off, who is a rather famous TikTok user who creates terrifying CGI animations. To be honest, I kind of expected him to make a game because he already has to make maps and locations for his animations, and turning it into a game seemed like the next logical step. This was his first attempt at game development, and even though I despise this game to my very core, I do hope that he makes another game, perhaps makes a sequel that is much better, or perhaps makes a game that isn't focused on the Zoonomaly. The main gameplay of Zoonomaly involves finding key shards that are hidden around the zoo. The zoo has been modified and has various structures that really don't belong in a zoo, and the keys are usually hidden on these structures. Instead of a gun, you are given a tool called a Bloomobang, which will stun monsters, let you see where the keys are, and let you see invisible platforms that you'll need to walk across in some situations. They will also let you see areas on certain boards where you will need to stand in order to launch yourself and complete puzzles. Almost every function of the Bloomobang works perfectly, except the stunning. The stun mechanic is barely useful, as it stuns the monsters for about 1 or 2 seconds. And the monsters in this game, almost every single one uses the exact same AI, which is incredibly persistent and incredibly annoying to deal with. The way this AI works is very simple. When it sees you, it chases you. It does not stop chasing you until it kills you, or you get out of range. Getting out of range is not easy when you are being chased by a monster that is faster than your sprint speed. Every single monster in Zoonomaly at top speed is faster than the player's sprint speed. Some monsters also reside within mazes that have to be navigated, or special platforming sections, where they can pose a threat if you fall. The monsters in Zoonomaly, despite being quite terrifying in design, are just overly annoying to actually face in the game. As again, your gun or your Bloomobang only stuns them for about 1 to 2 seconds. 1 to 2 seconds is not enough time to get away from the monsters, which will most likely result in certain death. While finding the key pieces is easy, actually getting to them is the hard part. You see, these keys are not only defended by monsters, but also indirectly defended by horrible platforming puzzles that involve having to launch yourself great distances using springboard planks. And if you don't stand in the exact right spot, there is a high chance that you will not make the jump and you will fall to the ground, where you will get killed by a monster because all of them are faster than you. There are a few puzzles where platforming is not exactly necessary, or at least the springboard platforming. This does not make these puzzles good, however, as they are replaced with incredibly annoying mazes, or in one case, an extremely difficult to navigate forest, where you must not only find a key, but bring it back to a lock where a key piece is. There is also a giant rabbit monster that will not be aggravated unless you pull an incorrect lever or shoot it with your Bloomobang. The way to solve this puzzle is incredibly easy, and is so stupidly easy that I genuinely feel like it was put there to make fun of people who would have tried every single lever from the back all the way to the front. After recent backlash, the developer did add a tool that would make the game somewhat more playable. However, you would have to find it. In order to find it, you would need to follow some mushrooms that are only visible through the screen on your Bloomobang. Upon finding them, you would follow them and find a green light bulb. Planting this light bulb down would allow you to teleport to it later, at the cost of destroying the bulb completely. This was a godsend mechanic that made some of the puzzles much easier than they would have been without it. However, you are never told about this mechanic. You would only know if you read the Steam description for the updates, or if you saw a video of someone doing it first. Otherwise, you would just have to blindly follow the mushrooms and hope they lead to something good. And in Zoonomaly, nothing usually leads to something good. Several monsters will have you ripping your hair out, but by far the worst of them is the zookeepers. The zookeepers traverse outside of the exhibits, and once they see you, make a beeline towards you. They're faster than your sprint speed, like all other monsters, and stunning them only stuns them for about 2 seconds. And once they have been unstunned, they instantly get back up to full speed to chase you down. You are almost never safe in this game, as there are zookeepers always patrolling the zoo. They always love to find ways to be incredibly inconvenient for your playtime. But they are still not the animals or the monsters that gave me the most trouble. What is on your screen right now is the monster monkey. They, by far, have the worst puzzle in the entire game. But they make it worse by being able to climb up a certain distance of the puzzle. Meaning that unlike all the other puzzles, you are not safe if you are just off the ground, as the monkeys can climb up and quickly kill you. The monkeys will also drive you absolutely insane with their incessant chattering sounds. It is by far the most annoying sound in the entire game. Once you have found all 20 key pieces by some miracle, you can create a giant key that you insert into the building in the front of the zoo. And what awaits you there is truly nothing exciting. What you're looking at here is the final boss of Zoonomaly. It is just a giant cat that runs at you very fast like all other monsters and kills you in one hit. Like all other hostile monsters. The only good thing about the giant cat is that it tends to be stunned a little longer than most monsters. The final boss fight in itself is anticlimactic, to say the least, and downright insulting, to say the worst. This is because you don't actually have to fight the cat to win the game. You just have to pull 5 levers in the room, and then go to a machine and turn it off. This ends the entire game. In my 23 years of existence on this planet, I have played a lot, and I mean a lot, of bad video games. But Zoonomaly is easily the absolute worst.